just timing this so that I don't go over too much. So I think the time has come to have a little chat and just talk about who I am. I've been vlogging since September of 2025. I have been a long time YouTube consumer, but I didn't like officially start my channel until September, and I just kind of started and just like vlogged, and like in the vlogs you'll kind of like know little bits and bobs about me. I never did like a full sit down video like this, so yeah, enjoy. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna be getting ready and just kind of going through my life. So here we go, starting off with I'll list all the products I use down below because it's fun to know these things. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. I was born in Switzerland in a place called Freiburg. So I think it's like a fairly small town. In Switzerland, my dad had a apartment there that he just had like I guess it was like a summer home. So we went back there every spring break, and then I think in summertime. Mostly remember spring break time because we always went skiing and hiking and all that. So, but I do remember a hot summer's day where we were in shorts and t-shirts and going up mountains and stuff. So Switzerland has like a soft spot in my heart. I know this looks crazy, but trust the process, okay? If you've seen any of my favorites video, I'm doing the Etude Darling water tint in the color Red Grapefruit 8. Now, you don't think red grapefruit would look like this, but like this red, but like vampy red, but also it's kind of mauve. And you guys know me and my mauve colors. I do this like an underlayer thing that I have done in a lot of my get ready with me's. Oh, by the way, I do have my full skincare underneath as well. So I'm going in with my Maybelline skin tint. Still loving it. Still to this day. It's like when I don't know what to do, this is my go-to. Yes. So yeah, Switzerland, I've always had like a special place in my heart for Switzerland. But if I went back now, I wouldn't know what to do, where to go. But like I know Verbier, and I know Verbier is where we had our little apartment there. We no longer have it, by the way. It's been sold off, and yeah, it's been beloved by many family members. Like my brothers would go there with their kids eventually, and like it was like a nice little place. I really liked it, but I don't like skiing. It's such a dangerous sport. I don't understand winter sports. Like, if we went like sledding or something, which I enjoy doing that in Canada now, like, I would have been so much more down to do something like wintry. But skiing, no, thank you. Sounds cool and good for the people who do it, but I don't know. I guess I was just hyper aware since I was a kid that could be a dangerous sport. So yeah, not for me. When I was 2, I moved to Japan. My mom is Japanese and my dad is Irish. So, you know, I am what people in Japan call hafu, you know, half. But I just realized that there was a new term for us. We're called Wasians. And I don't like that term, but I guess that's what it is. Like for like decades, like people have been calling us hafu. And now it's Wasians? Like what? I think they mean like Western Asians or something, like half Western Asians. And it's like a huge community now. I remember it being so like amazing that there are people like us that exist, you know, mixed race people, especially in Japan, because in Japan, it's, you know, anytime I went back there, sorry, I should say, I lived there for 2 up till I was like 7, 8 years old. And I spoke fluent Japanese because like my mom only spoke to me in Japanese and my whole world was in Japanese, right? So like I picked it up, obviously, when my world is Japanese. Anytime I would speak it like outside of school or when I did go back and visit it, it's always like oh wow, it's amazing that you can speak Japanese, when I identify like internally as a Japanese person, because that is what I know. Like I don't know if I think in Japanese, but like the way I think is very Japanese. Like I'm very like in the way I think. So yeah, it was kind of sad that I feel like I never kind of belonged. I was always like an outsider, like a foreigner, like never belonging. And anyways, but I always felt like I was never one of them. And so, but I had a great time in Japan. I've always been to international schools, so there was always like people like around me that came from all different sorts of walks of life, you know? One of my friends in school, like, but she fully spoke Japanese. Like it was so cool. Maybe she was half. Come to think of it, maybe she was a half girl, like a half black, half Japanese, something like that. Yeah, so yeah, I grew up very like multicultural-ish, I guess. Sorry, I forgot to kind of mention products. I am enjoying this one. I think this is gonna make it into my favorites. It's a good one. I do this in between steps of my makeup and it seems to last long. This is a newer one, the Nyx Wonder powder. I was actually gonna return this, but I couldn't find the receipt to return it, and because I used Apple Pay, I couldn't find like records of that I bought this, because apparently every time you use Apple Pay, the system recognizes it as a new credit card number every time. So just so you know, if you're ever buying something that you're like not quite sure if you're going to return something, don't use your Apple Pay. Use your credit card, because then they can, like, if you do lose the receipt or whatever, they can always pull up your credit card information, but not with Apple Pay. So I'm unfortunately feeling like I have to keep this, but after I'm using it up, you know, kind of liking it. Oh, I wanted to show you guys, after I use the puff, do you ever feel like you never get to the edges of the little pan? So I just pick up a brush and press in the rest. I moved to Singapore when I was 8, and I stayed there until I was done high school. So that was the doing CoverGirl's bronzer. So when I was in Singapore, again, I was in an international school, so like people from all sorts of walks of life. So it was really, I was very fortunate to kind of not think that I'm weird, I guess, because everyone was like, there were quite a few half people. There are people speaking all sorts of different languages. Like it's very normal, all right? But here's the thing. When I was done high school and I had to pick a university, I have no rhyme or reason why I chose Canada. I just heard that Canadians are nice. Like they're nice people there. Like that's all I knew about Canada, really. I was thinking about going to the US somewhere, because I don't know, just, you know, just watching movies and whatnot when I'm growing up, I just thought, oh, I want to be in the States. Thank God I'm not, because lots of problems there. I was choosing universities and I decided Canada because, you know, that's, like I said, I thought people were nice there and I was right. Anyway, I applied to a whole bunch of places. I think McGill was one of them. It was one of the big ones. There are quite a number of universities I did have to apply to. I ended up in a university college, I guess, called Malaspina. Now, Malaspina is now called Vancouver Island University, and it's on an island, like Vancouver Island, called Nanaimo. And that was the only place that accepted me for what I wanted to study, which is theater arts. And it was so funny, like when we were doing the phone interview, I remember it was like 8-9 o'clock, because like was it that late? I can't remember, but it was like later because, you know, Singapore time versus Canada time was like quite a big difference. And yeah, I just remember like we didn't really talk about my academics or like my work. I mean, I'm sure we did a little bit. Oh, hang on, almost forgot. But they were just so impressed of like my story. And I remember at the end of the interview, they were saying, you know what? I think I'm just gonna, it was like a bunch of professors on like whatchamacallit, like a conference call to me. At the end, toward the end, one of the professors said, you know what? I think by the end of this phone call, Fiona, we have a space for you here. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I was so excited. So I got in. Yeah, I started right after my high school was done. So it was high school's done, summertime, and then September. And so I went right into college, and then I did 2 years there, and then I transferred, and I applied to go into Simon Fraser University, also called SFU, here in Vancouver, and then I finished off my degree here. So when I was transferring though, so stupid, I had to do second year again. Apparently the credits didn't transfer over from second year, so whatever. But in a way, in a way that kind of worked out to my favor, because when I was there, and was it like second semester there, I met Nigel, my now husband. So life works in funny ways. I didn't think I was gonna meet anybody. Like I was not in like a good dating, I guess dating would be another thing I can touch on, but I don't really want to like drag people into this, you know? Like the past is the past, and the people who did me wrong know they did me wrong, you know? Like whatever. I am happy now, and that is the best revenge. Wasn't looking for anybody, but boy, he found me and he asked me out in the cutest way. We finished one of our shows. We were in theater, a theater program, right? And so we finished one of our shows, and we're going up to the cast wrap party sort of thing. And I had to leave early because I had to catch a ferry to go see my parents. We were going to go to Seattle actually for the first time. We were going to take it was like a ferry that you can go across. Can't remember what it's called. The Clipper. I remember that. Yeah, so we were going to go to Seattle the first time. Just, I was going to go to Victoria. So it's from Vancouver to Victoria. And then from Victoria, we had to take the Clipper, and like it was like a whole thing. And apparently, I don't know if I don't think Nigel will care. I'll ask him if he doesn't want me to include this part, but I'm sure he'll be fine. He looked at one of his friends and he was like, balls check, and like ran up to me and asked me out for a dinner. And I've never been asked out on a dinner, like a dinner date. It's always kind of been like, do you want to like hang out or do coffee or like, you know, casual stuff like that. But I've never officially properly been asked, like so gentlemanly, I guess I should say. And I was just like, oh, and I did not know that he thought of me that way. And I was just like, oh, I mean, like we're friends, but we weren't like there. I didn't think. He asked me out, and then I said, well, I'm gonna be going away this weekend, but I mean next weekend or something like that. And he was like, okay. And he got my phone number, he jotted it down in his flip phone. Oh my god, he had like a TELUS flip phone. I think I had like a pink razor. Oh my god, did I just age myself a lot? Yeah, I think I did. Got my number down, and then I was like almost at the bus stop, and he ran up towards me. He's like, I accidentally deleted it, give it to me again. My god, this guy's a mess. But yeah, I gave it to him again, and then the whole weekend he called me so many times, which I should have flagged that as like a, oh my god, this guy is obsessed with. obsessed with me, but I think he was just excited and he forgot that I told him that I'm going to be away this weekend. And I wasn't lying about it. I'm like, I was actually going somewhere. I was going to be away. I finally answered one of his calls because I was like, this poor guy, man. And I said, hey, remember I'm in Seattle? He's like, oh my God, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm going to set something up for next week. So, and then we went on a date next week, and then we've been together pretty much ever since. So he was my college sweetheart, which I never thought I would marry my college sweetheart, but here we are. So basically, like, I was born in Switzerland, moved to Japan, then to Singapore, and then college. The rest of the time I've stayed here, got married, got a house, like everything. College onwards, I've been here ever since. So I have a Canadian passport now. So I am thinking about maybe getting my Irish one renewed though, maybe later on, because I hear that Europe, or at least the Irish passport, you can get your kid to have it so long as her grandparents were born in Ireland, and my dad was. So it might be good for her to have in case she wants to like eventually, you know, move away from us. But it'll just be nice for her to have like a, you know, options, right? So that'll be good. So hopefully that will come into fruition, because I really hope that we can do that for her. Yeah. What else? Oh, one thing I wanted to mention is that I moved to Canada. It was like a culture shock, okay? Because first of all, like, we didn't really have homeless people in Japan or Singapore, or at least like where I grew up. Like, I've been very fortunate to kind of be sheltered from that, I guess. One time, a bunch of my friends and I were getting into a car. I don't know where we're going, party, whatever it is. And someone said shotgun, and I was like, I screamed. I had no idea what that meant. That just meant like, I want to like sit in the front seat, like, you know, shotgun. Because growing up in Singapore, like you can't get your license or even start to apply for your license until you're like 19, something like that, like pretty late. But in Canada, I think it's 16, 15, 16, something like that, right? None of us like in Singapore drove. It's always bus or barely took the train, actually. The MRT is the train line in Singapore. I don't know, the trains, I think, kind of scared me. But also, that would have been so much easier, because it probably would have gotten us to places where we wanted to go faster. But oh well. Maybe another time, if we do get a chance to go, we'll check out the MRT. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, and just so many people asking me, where are you from? Or they'll be like, where's your accent from? And I'm always like, I never know how to answer that. And Nigel, my husband, always goes like just answer where you're from. I'm like, I don't know what the question, like, okay. A lot of people here, I'm not saying all, you know, there's people like me who like bopped around everywhere. But there's a lot of people here who are like born and raised here, and they still know people from high school, and they still like are in this same general area. Like Nigel was like raised and born in North Vancouver, and you know, he still goes back and he's like around there. So he'll once in a while bump into people. Like I've never had that. Like I think I only talked to like my friend in London that we went to visit, still from high school. I don't even think I talked to anybody on Facebook even, like from high school anymore. Yeah, it's all like people in my life who are in my life now that I'll talk to. So just people here have like their own story where they grew up here and they're still here, or they're close by here, like where they grew up and whatever. But I am like from all over that I'm just like, I don't know how to answer that. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to finish off with this. So this, between each layer, or as many layers as I can, then I go in with this. It's pretty bulletproof. Pretty bulletproof. But I have to say, that smells terrible. Okay, this is one of my favorites lately. The Revlon Photo, what do you call it? Photo Ready Instant Blush. What? Instant Blur Liner. Okay. It It's like the lip liner of my dream. Like, it's not like I lined my lips and you can totally see, you know, like the middle part's not like done up. But I like that this, you can just kind of color your whole lip in. I'm sure you can just do the edges if you want. Naturium Lip Balm in Jam. Phyto Glow Lip Balm. Now, when you first put this on, you're gonna be like, oh my god, ooh, that's kind of dark. Not really good for every day. Just trust the process, okay? Like, the thing with wanting your makeup to be long lasting is that first you're going to look a bit clowny. Like right now, I don't know if you can kind of tell. Oh my god, I forgot eyeshadow. ColourPop in Ritz. It's a Super Shock eyeshadow, I think. Yeah, it's a cute one. But it's very glittery, so I just lightly tap it on. Okay, sorry, going back. The thing about wanting your makeup to last long, okay, so you need, well, you don't need it to, but you're gonna find that your makeup is gonna look super duper like done up and like just a lot. But as the day goes on and as you wear it in, it's just gonna, like when your oils start to come through and stuff, at least for me, I have combo oily skin. It's just gonna look so perfect. Like yesterday, I was looking in the mirror, end of day, or not yesterday, Saturday night, I was looking at the mirror and I was just like, oh my god, I just love it. I just love what my skin's doing lately. And I'm sure it's something to do with my skincare that I've been doing as well lately. But anyway, that's me done. Let's finish off the story here, and then we'll be done with the video. I have like I was born and raised here, and then like my whole life is like considered, I guess if I were to say exactly where I'm from, I guess I'll say I'm Japanese Irish, but like I identify, I guess, mostly as Japanese because I've been to Ireland a bunch, but I don't know like the culture about it except for like things that my dad's taught me before. But yeah, it's just when your whole world is in just kind of like jumbled up in many different places, it's hard to say where you're from. It's the hardest question. Where are you from is the hardest question I ever answer in my life. And yeah, it's just, I guess when you're growing up multiculturally, it's hard. It's hard to kind of talk about that, or it's hard to kind of like pinpoint what answer they want. I mean, the answer you give is the answer you give, but there's always follow-up questions to this, if you know what I mean. So I didn't really do like a Q&A thing. I looked at the Q&A thing of like learn about me, like YouTuber things back in the day, like questionnaires, but it's so like, what's your favorite color? What's your, like, it's just, I mean, I'll tell you guys all that stuff if you want, but if you have any specific questions as to my background or like why I am the way I am, could be interesting. Yeah, just leave them in the comments. If you are on Instagram though, I am the same handle. It's Fiona Naoko. It's, if you ever wanted to know my name, like my username, it's my first name and middle name combined. I'm Fiona Naoko. So that's why I kind of combined it, because I didn't want to include a last name in there because, like, you know, in the event that I got married, which I did, think about switching it around. So if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I'm still always going to be Fiona Naoko, right? So that's, there you go. That's a little like extra little thing to talk about. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I bid you adieu from my cute mug and me. Look at this cherry print. Oh my god. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them in another video or even in the comment sections below. And or you can even DM me on Instagram, and we can go that way. Yeah, there's not that many of you, and most of you guys are friends, so hi. Oh, sorry, my light just went off. Oh, maybe this is better. Thank you so much for following along and coming along with me with this. So yeah, make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't. Again, ask me any questions you like, and I'll answer the ones that I am comfortable sharing, you know, in the next about me thing. This is so embarrassing. When I'm in theater, like I always like, I perform a character, right? But when I'm talking about myself, I don't know how to do it. So this is why like these vlogs are good for me, because I feel like I'm coming out of my shell and just like I'm talking to a camera, but I am interacting. So, you know, I'm hopefully getting out of my shell this way. And anyways, let's wrap this video up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.